Our next guest expects persistent challenges to weigh on the housing market in the new year, particularly among luxury. Joining me now, we've got Jenna Stauffer, who is Sotheby's International Realty Global Real Estate Advisor. Jenna, great to have you here in studio with us. Let's start with your 2025 outlook. What are you anticipating here?
So it's going to be another sluggish housing market, in my opinion. In 2024, the housing market, it was really driven by a lot of challenges. We had affordability constraints, we had inventory constraints. These inventory constraints are going to stick around in 2025. One thing that I do predict that's going to happen in 2025, and what we're already seeing now, we're seeing inventory levels start to pick up. So what's happening with inventory levels, they're actually up around 12% from where they were last year at this time. And what this means is that we're going to start seeing some downward pressure on home prices. We're going to see deceleration. So the latest Case-Shiller read just came out. It showed that prices were up around 3.6%. Now, if you look at March, that number was around 6.5%. So you're seeing that more modest pace of appreciation. And I think that that's something that we're really going to see in 2025.
Okay, so if buying a home was on my 2025 to-do list, on my vision board, what's some advice that you would give me, my friends, who have all been talking about buying a home?
Well, don't give up on the dream of buying a home.
Don't stop believing.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Look, I think that's something for home buyers to take into 2025. You have to understand that with inventory levels picking up and with that downward pressure on home prices, there's some opportunities out there. So there's some sellers that still have priced their homes according to maybe prices that we were seeing more back in 2022. And now they're going to have to adjust their expectations. And I think if their homes are staying on the market for quite a while, which is something that we're seeing more stale inventory, more homes sitting longer on the market. These are areas where buyers can really get into. There are opportunities for buyers.
And you mentioned something that we're going to come back to, which is these stale listings. But while we're thinking about this, the mental checklist that sellers should be working through as they're looking to list their home, put their home on the market.
Sellers have to price correctly in this market. Again, as I've just been speaking about, with inventory levels picking up, things have shifted. And because buyers have so many affordability constraints, obviously that slows down demand. So what a seller must do is they really have to know their market. They have to know their value. You've got to price it right, or else your home is going to sit on the market.
Jenna, you're an agent in Key West, Florida. We were just talking about in the break how warm it is probably down there, how cold it is up here. What housing trends are you observing in your own market right now?
So I'm seeing exactly what we're seeing on a national level, something that we're seeing in the Keys where I'm based. We're seeing our inventory levels pick up, and that has slowed some sales. We're seeing affordability constraints, of course, in my market. We're seeing insurance challenges. I would say that my market's really driven by insurance challenges, inventory challenges, of course, inflation. You can kind of say it's all these eyes, right? That's what's driving my market in the Keys.
And so as we're thinking about it, and we were just discussing this a moment ago, I wanted to come back to it, stale listings that are on the market. And this is usually identified by homes that are typically on the market or listed and are perhaps not getting bids that come online. Perhaps they're priced inappropriately. And so they stay listed for longer, and we see them exceeding what is typically the average here. What are you seeing in listings right now, and how they're being bid into, where the buyers are coming from, and the entire dynamic right there, especially as that staleness has started to become a little bit more of the mode right now across markets too?
Well, there's a lot of pent-up demand from buyers. So you've had a lot of buyers. You have to look back on these past 2 years that they've been waiting for something to happen in the market, right? They've been waiting for prices to drop. They've been waiting for interest rates to drop. They've been waiting for that perfect moment. Well, now I think buyers are accepting current conditions. So these are the people that are buying. They're the ones who have had this pent-up demand, and they're kind of saying, you know what, enough is enough. I'm going to make a move. I'm going to try to get into the housing market. So these are some of the buyers that we're definitely seeing in the market right now.
What do you make of the generational dynamic? Because even as I'm kind of scanning through the analysis from multiple home the inputs of data that exist, whether it's a larger firm or whether it's some of the agents out there. It seems like there's this dynamic among some of the baby boomer generation that might be sitting on a lot of the single family homes that might not even need that much space, but are also unwilling to list as of right now. I wonder what you make among some of the generational dynamics that you're seeing play out, especially as millennials are looking to get into many of those homes too.
Well, a lot of these baby boomers, why they're not selling is because they're probably locked into a very low mortgage rate right now. So remember, mortgage holders right now, you have around 60% of them, they have a rate under 4%. You have 23% of mortgage holders that have a rate under 3%. Nobody's really incentivized to let go of that mortgage rate and then enter a very challenging housing market, a very expensive housing market that was also driven by inventory constraints, so there wasn't a lot to choose from. So I believe that's why a lot of these baby boomers are staying put. And what this has really done too, what we've witnessed in the housing market is created such a divide between the haves, the have-nots, right? It's really worsened income inequality. Now on the flip side though, you'll have people that are shut out of the market, but you're still having these individuals that have been able to really reap substantial gains in the housing market. And those will be the people that will be purchasing homes and also making moves in 2025.
All right, I took a look at some of your listings before the show. I got to save up just a little bit more to be in that ballpark here. Jenna, thanks so much for taking the time here. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much, Brad.
Absolutely.